It's the going trend now. Comic book movies are the biggest indication that summer has started. Just like 2 years ago, I'm going to review every single movie that I see this summer. From here until the end of August, you're going to be seeing every high and low this summer has to offer. It's been 1 year since the events of Age of Ultron, and now we get to see the aftermath of all the damage that the Avengers have caused. After a botched mission by the new Avengers team, the governments of the world now want them to answer for all the collateral damage that they've caused over the past, well, entire franchise. It's the first time that we ever see anything like this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where the heroes actually have to deal with the consequences of their actions. It paints the past movies we enjoy so much in a very different light than before. It's honestly really awesome. The best way to describe this movie is by comparing it to another comic book film from earlier this year. Oh god, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It's a lot like Batman vs. Superman. Civil War has a lot of the same themes surrounding the story as Batman vs. Superman did. But instead of being set up in a movie where we know nothing about the world or care about anybody in it, Civil War uses characters that we've come to know and love for almost the past decade. Just like the Avengers and unlike Age of Ultron, this feels like a culmination of everything that happened in the universe rather than just feeling the need to set everything up. The action in this movie is on point, and the story just rocks. And the villain is probably one of my favorite in the MCU. Rather than being another superpowered psycho or guy in a suit, all he is a man, destroyed and torn up by the events of the universe, making him, to me at least, the most real character in the movie. He's not a member of Hydra or the Ten Rings, he's just a man whose motivations make him tragic, and I just feel like that's what makes him strong. It's a sophisticated character that we've never really seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he just works with the movie. Now, all of this praise doesn't mean I don't have issues with the movie. By the end of it, it does end up doing that Marvel thing after a while. It's a phenomena I call the Marvel problem, where the screenwriters rush and cram everything into the end of the movie in order to set up the next one, without really giving a good conclusion to the story that we had. But in order to really talk about it, I'm gonna have to start going to spoiler territory here, so I recommend going to this point in the video just to avoid them. I'll give you 5 seconds. After the giant climactic fight, the story lacks any real consequences by the end. The movie was too scared to kill anybody off, which made me feel like the whole fight scene, which while it was awesome, didn't really serve a purpose. Yeah, Rhodey is paralyzed by the end of it, but that still means he can be War Machine. His character in the end isn't any different. Marvel is too scared to kill off one of its established characters, even when the movie itself entirely calls for it. And in order to make the future films in the MCU work well, they just kind of stop the conflicts the characters have by the end. The movie goes out of its way to show that Captain America's a vigilante, but at the same time, still's on Stark's side. While Tony does have that realization that Captain America was right, discovering the truth about his parents and Winter Soldier kinda showed me, at least, that he doesn't care. Him hating Captain America was no longer about the Sokovia Accords, it was about the fact he was defending Bucky. And right after that, they're okay with each other, and it just kind of invalidates the whole point of that story. But like I said, that's all isolated toward the end of the movie. Black Panther worked really well as a character in the universe, being organically integrated into the story. Spider-Man, however, not so much. As cool as it was seeing Spider-Man interact with everybody, he just feels kinda there. The movie introduces him to throw him away. He's in there because he can be, not because he should be. Don't get me wrong, Tom Holland is an awesome Spider-Man, becoming one of the highlights of the movie. But I don't think he should have been in this movie outside of just being a teaser. Anywho, I'd still recommend checking it out because it is honestly a fantastic movie. This gets an 8 out of 10.
But he's my friend. So was I.
Alright guys, this was one of God knows how many. We still got a whole summer ahead of us. Stay tuned.